that stands out explicitly to me was that I took that oath, I did not renounce it. No time from the time in 1977 to this day that I stand before you did I ever say that I revoked that oath. Mr. Brown, and I'm going to use the word Mr. Brown because senator means honorable and with respect. For him to say that he has taken that oath and kept that oath, I find that there's a very high amount of disingenuousness with his oath. He spoke that he would uphold that Constitution and follow that Constitution without veering to the left nor veering to the right, nor would there be exception for this group or that group. Constitution in the General Welfare Clause, which is very explicit. There's not to be judicial activism or a living document. That document was written by men far superior into intelligence and knowledge and godly wisdom than what has been expressed by Mr. Brown's office. I come before you as saying I support that Constitution and to defend it against enemies, foreign and domestic. This day and time, I come before with domestic. My intuition, my heart speaks to you and Mr. Brown's office, letting you know that we are the American people, and we, the people, are the people to be respected. He does not, nor does anybody else in that Congress, constitutionally speaking, grant us rights, privileges, or anything else. These are inalienable. They're given to us by our Creator and bestowed upon the founders of this country to write down in said documents. The 10th Amendment states in there, it says what is not granted to the government or to the states is to the people. And just because it's not mentioned in the Constitution or mentioned in the Bill of Rights doesn't mean that it falls automatically to our elected representatives. My personal thing is, to this right here, I feel that Mr. Brown is an oath breaker, not an oath keeper. I belong to the oath keepers. Look that up on the web. You will find that I am a part of a very large groundswell. I belong to the Campaign for Liberty. Mr. Brown is in violation of his contract. For when I got the letter back concerning cap and trade, the hate crimes, all these things like this shows arrogance to me. You and those who you are employed by work for we the people. When this has come to the point as it does now, we are very closely treading upon our Declaration of Independence. All that comes from Washington is not a help. Cash for clunkers. If that's how you're going to run a healthcare system, which I do not believe you should have your fingers, or anybody in government should have their fingers on it. That's an example. And Medicaid and Medicare, all these government-run projects, these are void of the Constitution. When he votes, he should be looking at that document. I am a strong follower of Dr. Paul, along with the Honorable and just beyond belief, I cannot believe her, Diane Bachmann. I believe in this woman. I would vote for her to be president in a minute. I am a supporter of Sarah Palin when she comes out and talks. I have read the health bill. I doubt that anything in that bill is constitutional. And already through another fine lady, through News with Views, Debbie Kidd, and Dr. Edwin Viveris, they have pointed out the fact that in your stimulus bill, which was rammed through and do as you please kind of laissez-faire government, doing whatever you feel and the people that are a part of that government feel is supposed to be us, you represent us not. In there it speaks about already there's a board of directors set up, and already in this bill. And if we have to, this is a 24/7 job, trying to follow after what Senator Brown and the other senators, the people that call themselves representatives of our government. Barney Frank ran a male prostitution ring out of his office during the 80s, yet that unique individual is still in office. Senator Dodd took money. Tim Geithner is a tax evader. Henry Waxman is a tax evader and a co-conspirator in this crash that we have. And for the people that go in there to disassemble the Glass-Steagall Act, you have what you have now. This is absolutely cronyism. None of the bankers were fired. All the money that's through AIG and Goldman Sachs, all these things. And to take and force Bank of America in December, either you do as we say or we're going to take and do this, present that facts to them that you're going to be done with if you do not vote for this. I'm going to tell you something. The American people, and you will see us on September 12th, there will be a groundswell of people in D.C., and there will be more than what you're able to take and deal with. Because there's going to be we the people, and we are tired. we are up to our eyebrows. Keep pushing this, and there will be a result that is not good. We have that right. In there, it says if that government ceases to take and obey and listen to us and becomes unbearable, we have a right to take and forsake that government and to build us a new foundation with new protections and new safeguards. That is written in the Declaration of Independence. I advise you and all their staffers here and Senator Brown, and I use that word very lightly, Senator Brown, because once again, they can relate. That means honor and above reproach, and I find him very dishonorable. I find anybody else in there that in this Congress and in the Senate and in the judicial branch and in the presidency that seeks to take and circumvent the Constitution of these United States is guilty of high crimes and treason. So choose this day. Choose whom you shall serve. You shall serve the bankers and the world powers that be for International Monetary Fund and other people through the UN. U.S. sovereignty of our laws is implicit. When they seek to take and circumvent these and allow things which are not mentioned in the Constitution to be instituted as against law, everything should have a constitutional litmus. If there's not against for the Constitution, then you are against me. And by being a Marine and for all intents and purposes, by not listening to us, you have disdained us with arrogance and pompousness. This is something that we are not very happy with. And believe me, this is only the beginning. The American people are waking up, and people such as Mr. Beck, Mark Levin, which I praise his book, Liberty and Tyranny, speaks exactly what we're talking about. Statist, each and every last one of them. Marxist communism. For his staff to be chock full of Marxist, communist, tax evaders, crooks, and swindlers deluxe. Senator Church spoke about such as this at one time. Said we are being fooled by hooligans, swindlers deluxe, and robbers. Continue. This is a time. I have been involved with freedom since my birth. I have been a library rat when I was a youth. I've read the Federalist Papers. I've read all the important papers by the founding fathers, and I believe in them. I believe in my republic, or I never would have stood on those yellow footprints and faced upon that flag, which has been died and fought for by many individuals, to take and present you with the right to sit here, but for people such as Mr. Brown and Mr. Schumer and Mr. Rangel and Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi to continue to take and spit upon us and call us mobs and call us Nazis, they should be wearing the brown shirts. When you nationalize banks, when you nationalize the auto industry, when you go through and you start nationalizing businesses, you represent such factions that were former in our history of this world became to be called brown shirts, and they should be wearing the swastikas. That is our point. We are here. We are being peaceful this time. We are being peaceful with the people at this time, but do not